You are tuned in to WSPN, Women's Sports Prime Network, the home of empowerment in women's sports. Alrighty, hello, and welcome to WSPN. I'm Adam Van Zark, and I hope that everybody's doing great. I hope that everybody's doing awesome on this 4th of July, and things are looking great for me. I've been having fun. You can let me know in the chat down below. How's your 4th of July doing? And I'll be glad to respond and talk about it, So, what's great on the world of softball and women's sports at this point in time? This is Women's Sports Prime Network, and we're gonna get things flowing and running as best as we can. And I hope that you have been keeping up with softball any shape or form, whether it is NCAA, whether it is whether you're keeping up with the AUSL or the U15 on Italy, with all the Women's World Softball Cup championship, better said. And things are looking great for that sort of scenario. And I've been enjoying myself as much as possible with that. Today I think yesterday they played again. Puerto Rico played against Cuba, and things were looking really awesome for that. So if you have friends or anyone that's interested in, just simply enjoying yourself a good time with women's sports and softball, this is the place to be. This is the radio show to be listening to at this point in time. So don't go anywhere. Tune in and bring your friends and family, and we're gonna be more than great to have you all here. So, yesterday, let me check on the Instagram because I posted the update. Let me see here. So Puerto Rico went against Venezuela 8-1 for the title on the Pan American title, Pan American Championships. And that was amazing. Then they went with Cuba, and they beat Cuba. And so far, I would say that Puerto Rico has been playing amazing on the U15, on the Softball World Cup, and on the Pan American Championships. And that is like the best thing that I can say so far from the Puerto Rican team. Well, I've only seen them lose only once, and it was against Japan. And it's understandable. Japan's a great team. Japan's a really good team, if you ask me. Really good team, and I wouldn't see it any other way, in my opinion. So let's get some news from that scenario right now. That way we can get ourselves connected with the latest thing of what's happening. And later on we will go for some NCAA news, because there is new Rebels, new Ole Miss players that have been added to the team so far. And I think you would all enjoy some updates from that. And one of the players that was playing last season as a pitcher for the Ole Miss team is now on the Blaze team on the AUSL. So stay tuned for that. Let's get ourselves started with awesome stuff here. So recently, Puerto Rico shut out USA. It shut out USA. So Puerto Rico shut out USA, and will face Japan U15 Women's Softball Cup Final. Puerto Rico took the lead in the top of the second after USA had the first scoring chance. Isabella Ortiz took over pitching duties and retired 14 batters in a row. The incumbent world champions will face Mexico for their bronze medal. In the placement round, Australia beat Italy and finished 8th. American Samoa beat Singapore to finish 10th place. Those are just great things to be saying right now. And if you have anything to say, don't be afraid to chat down below. I'll be here and I'll respond to your messages. If there's anything else you would like to hear or to witness, by all means, I'm all here. So world number 3, Puerto Rico shut out number 1 USA to close day 3 of the WBSC U15 Women's Softball World Cup 2025 Super Round and qualifying the World Championship final against number 2 Japan. So Puerto Rico is now the only national team to feature in the final of the 2023 and 2025 edition of the WBSC U15 Women's Softball World Cup. You are Excuse me about that. I choked there for a second and I was trying to mute so you don't guys hear the coughing, but I started pressing every single button on my freaking mixer. That's okay. So it's the first ever win for Puerto Rico against USA in international softball. The North Americans hadn't missed a women's softball World Cup final since the World BSC U19 Softball World Cup in 1985. So, defending champions USA will face number 9 Mexico in the bronze medal game. Mexico finished tied 1-3 with number 4 Chinese Taipei and number 8 Czechia, but prevailed thanks to the team's quality balance. TQB, runs score, innings played at bat, runs allowed, innings played on defense calculations. So the WBSC Executive Board approved the TQB to break 3-way ties in softball events in May 2024. So Chinese Taipei had earlier defeated Mexico in the placement round, with Canada securing 7th place on Friday. Australia beat Italy and finished in 8th place. American Samoa defeated Singapore and earned 10th place. So it's been going great for Puerto Rico. It's incredible to say the least that Puerto Rico, since 1985, hadn't had a North American international head-to-head matchup, and now they did, and they defeated the number 1 seed USA. Like, hello, come on, isn't that incredible? I find that incredible. It's hard to beat USA. It's hard to beat USA being the number 1 team internationally. Even though we have other Asian teams like China Taipei and Japan that are really awesome. Singapore, I've never heard too much about Singapore. But, Puerto Rico defeating USA, it's a game changer, a tiebreaker. It's something that we don't see that often. And seeing it now is just incredible. So that's the thing, So moving on to other topics, I'm going to get you something interesting that was recently placed on the AUSL. We have a new member on the AUSL for the Blazers. All know the Rebels? You all know the Rebels, right? The Rebels. Ole Miss, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is one of those great teams. They showed a lot of potential. They showed a lot of great potential, And I think next year they're gonna do better. Yeah. All right, no worries. Them is it's okay if you feel comfortable with that. That's okay. But for the Blazers, they added a new member from Ole Miss, and it's the pitcher. And who is the pitcher for Ole Miss? Alaya Benford, and she is an amazing pitcher. She's great, and she has thrown lots of great pitches throughout the NCAA career that she had, and now we are seeing great addition to the Blaze. This could be a game changer for the Blazes, and throw us some good times, So I'm really excited to see how this performs, how this goes for Alaya Benford. And you're going to see me first in line, getting that first news article to get things flowing for Benford. So that's going to be a thing. All right, let me fix the text color for the chat because it's looking a little too dull and I can't really read it. I think that's a little better. Let me see. Well, that looks a little better. All right. Anyways, so that's the news that I had for all you now of the interesting news. This was posted like the 3rd of July yesterday, and I was stoked when this came out. I was like, no way, Alaya Benford has been acquired for the Blazes. This is gonna be amazing. I can't really wait for this to be a thing. So let's just hope that it changes the way the Blazes are going, because we all know that the Blazes so far on the AUSL have had a rot on how they're performing, So let's get it running here. Let me throw in some MLB.com/AUSL to see if they have updates or the summary of how the teams were performing, Yeah, here we go. All right, let me look for the Blazes for a second here. All right, let me actually Blazes. Blazes have done 210. That's a rot. That's a big rot for the team, and I would like to see if Alaya Benford can actually give us a switch into a good direction for the Blazes, So far, you know, so far for the AUSL, even though I like the Talons a lot and they're like my favorite team, I'm trying not to be too into a team when it comes to my news. And on the starting of this on the start of this season, first Negro season, because the thing is that we're still trying to see how the teams perform, even though we've already gone to the midpoint of the season. And we're still trying to understand the teams as as a totality, not not the individual players, because we know most of those individual players. We've seen them on the NCAA, we've seen them on international teams, we've seen them play before. But what I'm talking about is how they perform as a team, and that's what I'm trying to still get a grasp on. Even though I am a huge Talons fan on the AUSL, huge fan, huge fan. Brielas being my favorite player. Even though we have Sam Laundry on the vaults that I also like, but I have a thing for Brielle. Is like every time she steps on the batting box, it's a no brainer that she's gonna smash it to a degree that I'm gonna just jump on my seat and be like, heck yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm waiting for, and this is what's up, you know? So that's what I like to see. Good plays, good swings, and we've seen that a lot in the NCAA. We're starting to see those on the professional side, and that's the stuff that we need to continue promoting. So the thing is, I'm still trying to grasp myself on the teams. You know, they have done swaps already. You know, and like Clark swapped and whatnot, and we need to still wait until the season ends to have a better understanding on who is a great pitcher on the AUSL, who's a great batter. Even though we have clear ideas so far, you know, because we've already have some stuff thrown out there of who could be the potentials, MVPs, pitching, and players of the year, and stuff like that. You know, we have already have 4 options for player of the year. You know, player of the year would be Georgina Korik, Lexi Clifoyle, Odyssey Alexander, and Rachel Garcia. You know, and in my opinion, I am having a hard time between Garcia and Kilfoyle. Keyfoyle are 2 of my favorite ones. But I'm still leaning for Garcia because every time we've seen Garcia on the mound, she has done great things so far. And that's the stuff that I am expecting for this Alaya Binford acquisition, you know, that things are going to flow into a better direction. You know, if we're still acquiring players at this point in time before the second part of the season goes in, and the reason we have this hiatus is because we have the Women's Softball World Cup happening at this point in time, and some players are playing internationally, and we need to have that little change. You know, that little, I mean, not change, that hiatus and stop of the season to just break it so that they can play internationally. It was already pre-planned. They thought about it that at some point some players are gonna have to play internationally, so they did schedule this break beforehand. So the thing is that we already have 4 contenders for Player of the Year. So far, we already have over here. We have a few players that the AUSL is throwing out there as potential MVPs. You know, so that's the stuff we're at this point. You know, so for those of you that are joining in right now, if you are willing to chat, that's okay. I'll be more than happy to respond to your messages, your questions. I would like to know if any one of you is watching the AUSL and has kept up until this break. Who has been your favorite player so far? I have a few that you can check out on one of my latest episode on my podcast where I titled it Mid-Season Madness. So if you are willing to listen to that, you'll see who are my favorite players so far. But you know, Ortiz is one of them. Ortiz is a good player for me. Hannah Flippins, I love Hannah Flippins. Hannah Flippins is one of those players that I like to showcase out there. Skylar Willis Skylar is another one that I think is a great player. There's many good players out there, you know, and we can't deny that. We can't be just hiding ourselves in a rock and not see who's playing great or not, you know. And the for those of you that collect cards, I unfortunately I don't collect sports cards. I do collect Pokemon cards because I'm a huge geek, but I love sports too. and I love showcasing and spotlighting women out there. So the Topps cards are going really hard with everything that has to do with the AUSL. There's already good cards out there. So let's continue getting ourselves out there, you know, and doing stuff that makes us feel amazing, you know. So if you're willing to get yourself some AUSL cards, they're available on the Topps website, and some of them are already on eBay. Some of them are already on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. So we got things flowing for the AUSL with the cards, and I think this is just my opinion and my speculation, but I think that by this point in time, um, if you acquire these cards in a few years, that's gonna be an investment. You know, they're gonna probably be worth something. You know, because this league is backed by the MLB, so at some point this is gonna be valuable. Even if the league doesn't sustain for like as long as the MLB has sustained, um, I still think that those cards are gonna be valuable. Some at some point, you know, like valuable, crazy amount of cash. You know, that is just my opinion. I know that I might be uh talking blabber at this point in time with the cards, but I feel it's a big possibility and a big thing that's gonna happen at this point in time. It's gonna be a matter of time when these cards become crazy expensive, and some cards already have actual signatures, not a printed signature on the card, actual signatures from the players straight on the cards. You know, those are gonna be extra valuable, extra. You know, extra. Like, what else do you want? What else do you need? You know. So we gotta have ourselves a good time collecting those cards. For those of you that get to collect them now, you guys are gonna be investing for the future. You know? For those of you joining in, Justin May the Ripper, every time I go on air, at some point, he responds on the chat with, "Can you say dem?" So if anyone's out there and you can comply with Justin May the Ripper, go ahead and do so, because we have some people that do feel a little weird when you don't specify them correctly. So just a heads up. We don't want no controversies here, other than who's the better player. The only controversies on this radio show that can happen are controversies of this player is better, you're talking blabber, bing boom bang, and let's go with this one. Those are the only times you can be controversial. Who's the better player? Or what team is performing better? But I don't want no gender social thing to be a concern here, other when it becomes a big news, like the one I did recently. That's the only time gender stuff can be a controversial thing. So now you know. Women's Sports Prime Network. It's a great time to be here. It's a great time to be alive. I love doing the best I can, spotlighting women out there, and I can't wait. In 3 more days, we're gonna have the season of the AUSL back in action. Back in action. And I really, really cannot wait. All right. There's been a lot of funny memes on X of, you know, people on stadiums, on the diamond softball games and stuff like that, saying it's a perfect day for a hot dog on a stadium. I'm craving a stadium hot dog. And I'm like, what is the hot dog like the only thing you guys think of when it's the 4th of July? That is hilarious, you know? Cuz I would have thought that I would have thought that you guys would be showcasing more like burgers, big old steak, something like that. I don't know, but people are craving some softball, baseball stadium hot dogs on the day of today. So for those of you joining in, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're more than welcome to my community of Women's Sports Prime Network, and you can talk to me of whatever you feel like it when it comes to women's sports and softball. This is all about softball specifically, but I can talk about whatever you feel like it when it comes to women in sports. And the women should be spotlighted as much as we can, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're heading ourselves into. So don't be afraid. I don't bite. You can chat down below and you can get yourselves connected with the best of the best. You know, I've been talking about the AUSL, my favorite teams, good players, players that have been acquired right now, you know. And I've been also updating the U15 Softball World Cup right there in Panama on the Pan American Championship. It's happening on Italy, and the softball games. We've been having great times on the Pan American Games in Puerto Rico. Delicious. They've been playing amazing every single game, except for one or two here and there, you know? So that's going to be a thing, you know? That's going to be what we're heading ourselves into, you know? So let's get ourselves aware of what's good and what's not. Just saying. Anyways, um, let's get ourselves aware of some more updates right about here. So Puerto Rico's U15 lineup versus USA was center field Jolana Duke, shortstop Alondra Aldabol, center field was no center was Niall Melendez, first base Jasmine Johnson, P was Isabella Ortiz, Amaya Correz was second base, right field Delanis Nieves, third base, Naima Melendez, uh, Helianda, and Maya Melendez. It was the lineup for the game versus USA. And so far, so good. I'm so happy of how things have been flowing for Puerto Rico. It's just incredible. Anywho, so here we go. Another update from the WBSC. Puerto Rico did 4 runs. Puerto Rico did 4 runs, and Brazil did 2. And as you can see, Puerto Rico, another victory for Puerto Rico. Like, come on. There's no stopping these girls at all. No stopping them. No stopping them. No stop whatsoever. So, in other news, let's get ourselves aware. All right, let's get some more interesting stuff happening right here. So let's get it. Here we go. All right. All right, here we go. Here's some news from Cuba. Cuba suffers second setback at Women's Softball Pan American Championship. So, Havana, Cuba, July 4th. Cuba women's softball team suffered a second loss in a row on Thursday in the super round of the 11th Pan American Championship after failing 0-4 to Canada in the Colombian city of Monteria. The Caribbean team, which had earlier fallen to Puerto Rico, closed with 2 losses record on the day and will have to await the results of the remaining matches to determine its final position in this stage of the tournament. Cubans opened to the scoring with a solo home run by Leones Sayas in the first inning, but Canadians tied the score and took the lead in the following innings with home runs by Calhoun, Pilgrim, and Erica Polidori. The latter with 2 base runners on base of the pitchers of Jamelkis Guevara, who took the loss. Then Nisla Lopez managed to contain the opposing offense for the remainder of the game, but the Caribbean team couldn't decipher Morgan's Raymer's pitches, who earned the win with 6 and third innings of work. Despite the advised result, Cuba has already secured its spot in one of the World Cup's phases and a ticket in the 2027's Lima Pan American Games. So that's great for Cuba, but it's kind of sad that they had a setback again on Thursday. Yikes. That is a little devastating. I hope that Cuba can actually secure another spot to continue playing and see if they can rank up a little bit. But, some teams just get a little discouraged. It's not that the team is bad. It's mostly that some teams get discouraged, We've seen that before. We've seen that on the MLB when some players get discouraged just because they're not either performing correctly or their team is not doing what that certain player is expecting from the team. And there's the different things that make you a better player or a worse player. There's many attributes for a team to continue or get a setback. They are many points we can discuss right now if you wanted to that showcase that players and teams can have setbacks not because the team is bad, just because they are simply discouraged. Simple as that. So on July 4th, 5 powerful ways softball players honor 4th of July. Let's get it. This was written by Bonnie Holland, Extra Innings Softball CEO. So let's get it. 5 powerful ways softball players honor July 4th. So Extra Innings Softball shares a timely message for the softball community this Independence Day. Honor the game by honoring the values it reflects. Softball players, teams, and families can embrace the spirit of July 4th by being great teammates, working with purpose, and using their platform to inspire others. The countless young athletes lacing up their cleats during this holiday week, there's no better moment to lead with heart. Here are 5 impactful ways softball players can celebrate America's birthday on and off the field. As we reflect on the significance of Independence Day, it's essential to understand what it means to honor this holiday through our actions in sports. The values of teamwork, perseverance, and dedication are mirrored in both the spirit of softball and the spirit of America. Let's delve deeper into how these principles can be lived out by every softball player. Number 1, be the best teammate today. One of the most meaningful ways softball players can honor July 4th is by being strong teammates. That means cheering even when you're not in the game. Offering encouragement after mistakes and setting a positive tone, great teammates create lasting impact. Support isn't just a gesture, it's a form of leadership. The energy you bring to your dugout can elevate your whole team. Encouragement can take many forms, from simple verbal affirmations to organized team bonding exercises that reinforce camaraderie. For instance, considering implementing a pregame ritual where players share personal goals or express gratitude for one another. This not only strengthens team's unity, but also builds a supportive environment where everyone feels valued. Number 2, work hard because you can. In America, female athletes have a freedom to pursue competitive sports. That's not the case everywhere. This holiday is a powerful reminder that working hard is both a right and a responsibility. Show up early. Go all in during conditions. Dive into every rep with focus and pride. Your work ethic is a tribute to the opportunities generations before you fought to create. Working hard is also about setting an example. Young athletes look up to their older teammates. By demonstrating your commitment to hard work, you inspire others to push their limits. Share your training routines on social media or create a video series showcasing drills and conditioning exercises that emphasize dedication and resilience. Billie Jean King said, "Freedom is about having the opportunities to be your authentic self. For women in sports, that means equal access, equal respect, and equal opportunity to compete." Number 3, use your voice to uplift others. Social media and team leadership platforms give athletes the chance to make a difference. Whether you're posting a thank you to a coach, honoring military family, or sharing a faith-based message of hope, what you say matters. Athletes today are influencers on the field and online. Use that reach for good. According to the Aspen Institute, youth sports participants who engage in positive leadership roles build stronger character and resilience. It's important to remember that using your voice doesn't always mean making grand statements. Sometimes the smallest gestures have the most significant impact. For example, writing a heartfelt message to a teammate who may be struggling can uplift their spirits and foster a sense of belonging. Additionally, consider organizing team volunteers opportunities to uplift your community and support local causes. Number 4, say thank you to those who serve. Many softball players have family members in the military or in public service. Take time this holiday to express gratitude. A simple thank you can go a long way, whether it's a coach who served, a parent who supports your dreams behind the scenes, or a teammate from a military family. Acknowledge their way where they acknowledge their sacrifice, And as a USA Softball notes in its Star and Stripes program, patriotism and sports go hand in hand when players honor those who make freedom possible. Moreover, expressing gratitude can be a community affair. Encourage your team to participate in local events that honor veterans or first responders. This not only shows respect, but also builds a connection between your team and the community, creating a culture of appreciation that extends beyond the softball field. And last but not least, number 5, lead with heart on and off the field. True leaders don't just shine in stats. They shine in moments. Help a younger player at practice, clean up the dugout after a game, model respect for umpires and opponents. This July 4th, leadership isn't about spotlight. It's about integrity. Use this moment to recommit to the values that make great athletes even great people. Even greater people. So leaderships can also manifest in day-to-day actions. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels empowered to contribute. For instance, develop a mentorship program within your team where experienced players guide younger ones, sharing skills and knowledge. This initiative fosters a sense of belonging and nurtures future leaders in the sport. Make this holiday count. Softball players honor July 4th best when they bring passion, purpose, and pride to everything they do. Independence Day is more than fireworks. It's a celebration of opportunity. So whether you're on a field this week or off it, make the most of the moment. Be a better teammate. Train with heart. Use your platform to spark change. The freedom to play is a gift. Playing with purpose is how you give back. Finally, consider establishing a tradition for your team that coincides with July 4th, such as a special game or event that pays homage to the holiday. This could involve wearing themed uniforms or hosting a charity event that benefits veterans or military families. By committing to such traditions, you create a legacy of honor that can be passed down to future generations of players. So remember to always be grateful for the opportunities that you have, and always do the things that make you a better person, a better athlete, and always put yourself out there as best as you can. Helping others is a beautiful thing. And what better way to show as an athlete that you can help other players that are struggling to feel connected, to feel that they have a chance. So those are the 5 things that softball players do in order to celebrate 4th of July. None other than Independence Day. So thank you. Thank you for those who served. Thank you for those who have helped others, making them a better person, a better athlete. And thank you for the coaches that make this sport a better sport. Anyways, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate everybody that has been subscribing to my channel so far. I appreciate everybody that has tuned in. I appreciate everybody. So don't forget to always check your teammates and showcase women and get yourself out there and spotlight the women that make sports amazing. So hit me up on X as WSPN or Ander Van Zark, and let's keep the conversation going. This is WSPN, and I'm Ander Van Zark signing off. Keep swinging for the fences. Bye.